Just heard back. The higher-ups finally decided to just bury the corpse of that big guy. Why we have to buy our own weapons?
Anybody even listening to this? Tell you stuff?
Before I forget, here, this is for you. Thank you ever so much for freeing my father. He seems good, actually. No discernible lingering ill effects. Still, singing. But I'm so grateful to hear it.
My friend from Placid Waters! Appreciate you fetching the pitch ball Millie got me. And of course, the escort out of there. Though mostly, the pitch ball. Wonderful, wonderful. So good to see Millie again. Don't know how to do anything here, but I can sing to my heart's content. You heading out? Do take care. Again, much obliged.
Glad there are people out here like you. Gives hope. Both of us, well, we're forever in your debt.
Remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship this, but because...
I see you're back from the Protectorate's little mind manipulation spot. All their secrets in hand, yes?
Our team at Proprietary Insight Acquisition has been salivating over the potential commercial applications of that process.
We skip the frivolously lengthy approval process.
Of course you did, my most trusted ameliorator. You never fail to amaze and impress.
Head Refresher Gould will fit right in, surely. Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology. That will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results.
Doctor, at Auntie's Choice, we understand that the marketplace is dynamic, efficient, and well-suited to the shifting needs of our populace. After all, that's what unbridled...
Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They could barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable?
Spacer's Choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's Choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored Dustball team, the Auntie Cleo's darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series.
That's certainly interesting. Intriguing, even. What else?
Person for the Auntie Cleo's darlings. Unclean Spacer's chosen goalie at the end of the 50th
Yeah, good to know, good to know.
Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that...
But still, they keep on marketing it as virtually foolproof, don't they? So much for their vaunted moral high ground. And so much for us exploiting that piece of technology.
Right back at you.
Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. And more for converting Head Refresher Goulds to the joys of commerce. All right, For your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
The preliminary chores are complete. Oh, finally, a contractor with a little backbone. Normally, they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Oh, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization?
That's small change compared to experimental operations, where top lab codes are doing pioneering, confidential work in, well, whatever they're working on. Don't worry about it. All I know is their department alone is responsible for a 28% increase in our entire operational budget for the next fiscal.
Well, I appreciate the clarity, if not the lack of guile. For now, I suppose we'll remain uncomfortable bedfellows, if not ideological fellow travelers. Do hope you forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. Certain communications have even been exchanged between our ship and the Order's headquarters. You've spoken to the delegates, yes?
Because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to
A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms.
process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20
Oh, my security team would never allow it. But a call like this over a secure line should be an acceptable alternative. Of course, Ruth would also need to agree. Perhaps if you were to perform a few useful errands for the Order, you might earn a meeting with her to propose the same.
doctor at Auntie's choice? We understand that the marketplace is dynamic, efficient, and well-suited to the shifting needs of
Have Ruth reach out when she's ready to talk, and I'll set up a call on a secure line next door.
Commander, over here. Commander, wanted to chat with you about the cartridge that courier gave us. Ain't heard from Ortiz in... might well have been a year at this point. That's how it goes when you've fallen behind, and the others got no choice but to keep moving. If he's spending his hard-earned bits to contact me now, there must be a real good reason. Would you watch the message with me? Fella from my old unit. Good buddy of mine before I was discharged. I didn't get the chance to say goodbye after the grafting procedure. Didn't have a way of reaching out, neither. Thanks, Commander. Would you do the honors and get it going?
Inez, it's Ortiz. Look, I ain't got long. Neither for this message nor for life. I made a mistake. I signed up to get grafted, but it's gone wrong. Should have known when I got to the lab that something was off. It was a secret, they said. We couldn't tell no one. And now my blood's infected and I'm as good as dead. Well, I just wanted to be like you. Throw myself at the problem, wrestle it down. But I should have listened when they told me about how your graft hurt you. How it failed you. I should have reached out sooner. Maybe things would have been different. Please, find that lab on Cloister. It's in an ice cave, but I ain't sure where exactly. They hid it good. Whatever you're doing is, stop them. Don't let them do this to anyone else. Please.
Commander, I ain't sure what to make of Ortiz's message. He's dying. If it's as he says, I ain't got a choice. I gotta find that lab and put a stop to things. Will you help me? Thank you, Commander. Now we just need to find those ice caves on Cloister. We keep our lamps lit, we ought to find the lab without much of a fuss. I hope.
Moment of your time, Commander. Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now I'm out and about again. That's where the error occurred, I believe. Others judged it such. I shut it down. Believe I was wrong to do so. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Pass, on account of my decision. Hardly. Quite the opposite, in fact. She's one of the finest minds to ever grace the Order. Her research was unconventional, surely. She was as well. I think with both, we could right things, get the Order back on its intended path. Do appreciate it, Commander.
This graft ain't playing well with the cold. My whole damn arm's asleep.
I find your proposed time unaccountably so.
But going any faster grossly increases the threat of collapse. Bearing us beneath the snow benefits no one, so long as we are operating within the statistical parameters given to us.
Hello.
Farewell. Thank you for this officially compact conversation. Oh, hello. Agitate here often?
Have you at least determined the cause of the avalanche?
Of the body are nothing contrasted to the Order's future. Keep those eyes open, soldiers. Corneal frostbite be damned.
You know, you strike me as someone with a very small body of published work.
Something tells me the order won't be...
Heard that rift near the archive has destabilized. Must be a sign. Halt! The Oracle Laureate sent ahead to expect someone matching your description. However, he said nothing about admitting questionable allies. Members of Auntie's Choice are not permitted inside Laplace's garden. Your companion will have to wait outside.
Huh. If only one of us could have foreseen this situation. But I'll stay back, Commander. Ain't no reason to cause a scene.
You should heed the wisdom of your friend.
Yeah, these hues suit my complexion real good.
As likely as I find that theory, we have rules and regulations for a reason. We are at war, you might have noticed. Laureate Beckett did impress the importance of not delaying you. Very well, head on in. But behave yourselves. The garden is something of a fragile ecosystem.
Impressed as I am that worked. I ain't sure about this. Being vastly outnumbered by the enemy ain't a corner I like to be backed into.
Ah, Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. May all your problems precede solutions.
I have too much on my mind for...
Is it just me? Or does something seem... Oh, never mind.
Agent, over here. Ah, there you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's Choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
A visitor? It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another prediction that he hasn't seen fit to notify me about. A more cynical exemplar might posit his doing this to be intentional. If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support, which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. Yet, most others with aims to rule it are filled with aspirations of grandeur. Ruth is the sole individual capable of interpreting situations objectively. The corporate invaders will suck Arcadia of its resources and cast it to the wind. And the Protectorate are no better than machines. Moreover, once we solve the universal equation, it will benefit all of humanity. You, me, everyone. No more suffering, no more doubt. It is indeed a good deal. But we can return to your initial point. There is a task of pivotal importance to the Order, but I cannot entrust it with just any come-by-chance outsider. As head of the Order's exemplars, it's my responsibility to assess whose aims upon Ruth may be malicious. Prove yourself to me first, then we may discuss the rest. To the point. Very well. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the Archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there. From what I understand, Vicar Levin's continued existence is a mere side effect of whatever personal vendetta you happen to be attending to. I'm pleased he does not lie among the ranks of the dead, but I will need a more tangible effort on your part to trust you. I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
Asa ought to know about this before we make a move. Otherwise, do me a favor and make sure I'm not in the vicinity when she hears of it.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry. Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Before I can administer your conviction, I need to ask you a question. In what area of your life do you feel you need the most improvement? Personal or professional? Expand on that for me. Oh, well, that's certainly specific. You will soon regain your professional momentum, augmented by your recent period of rest and reassessment. Good. Never forget that you are a valuable factor in the universal equation and necessary to advancing the plan. Now then, a brief conversation is customary following the initial service. I haven't seen you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. I see. And what lucky department have you been apportioned to? Surely it must be one of the big three.
By necessity, we are forced to estimate outcomes based on assumed distributions of sample populations.
That would account for the personal arsenal. You know, I'm actually nearing the end of my shift. If you're amenable to continuing our chat somewhere more private, I think we could both benefit. Right this way.
Every bit of data collected, analyzed, and input by our archivists brings us closer to our goal, to the solving of the universe. Probability is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Information leads to inaccurate predictions.
You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. Recall what you have observed thus far. Isn't it strange how calm everyone is? The Order is in the middle of a war. A war, one might say, they are losing. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. I'm limiting my water intake and using other pharmaceuticals to combat the effects. It's not a perfect system, but it works adequately enough. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. One could make that argument, and obviously have. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it Perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win.
personalized order prediction yet. I'll admit to a bit of trepidation in regards to opening mine. This is the first one I've received since use caution as you progress. There's been reports of persistence in the area.
I'll handle this. You try to limit further damage, Commander.
Random elements!
Someone's on for a minute. Locking them down. Out of sight and on the way. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100. 1 being entirely pain-free and 100 being the worst pain you can imagine.
You see these magnificent weapons? They have the greatest destructive potential to protect your entering good man. Tell me then, why should they not have been
Excuse me, I don't think you have the author is fascinating. It seems gravity doesn't apply to the rift, but it somehow maintains its position in space relative to all the items we put into the rift. They've been reconstituted,
but in a state far different from their original configuration. Fascinating. Sir, on a rare occasion, the plan... Oh, damn it. Reverted to its previous state. The failing of the device or an inevitable effect of passage of time? Hurry! Assistant, activate the monitoring equipment and take readings. Reverted again! Infuriating! Open again, quickly. Record all the relevant data and take down your observations.
Fascinating. It seems gravity doesn't apply to the rift, but it somehow maintains its position in space relative to the solar system.
Again, has reverted. Timing seems similar to the last state change. But is that indicative of the properties of the rift or of the device?
Seems the Protectorate has been gaining ground since winning control of the Archive.
UNIAC has likely been sorting out the logistic problems. Took a moon set.
Seems rather extreme. Are you